Okay, so the ROG Xbox Ally is not a perfect device. I've talked about it before on the channel, especially as somebody that absolutely loves the Steam Deck. As far as the ergonomics, the compatibility with so many different games that even though they're not running on Windows, but that they've spent so much time making sure all these games are compatible. Anyways, this isn't a Steam Deck video, this is an Xbox Ally video, and I want to kind of come at it from the same level of appreciation that I have for the Steam Deck, because I feel like there's a lot of negative press and negative just attention going on with the Xbox Ally, and whether it is explicitly negative or it's just implied as a negative connotation about this device, but I want to kind of give this a little bit more of a positive light, especially to somebody that is considering picking this up for themselves, because there is a lot to love about this device, and while there are some nitpicks that can be had about it, it's an objectively very good PC handheld device. And I'm going to do this as straightforward and streamlined as possible because I do respect your time, and I want to give you 4 reasons why I really enjoy the Xbox Ally. Okay, so reason number 1 will be the Windows full screen experience. So for better or for worse, you are getting a full Windows 11 experience because, well, you're getting a full desktop PC in the palm of your hands. That is both a good thing and a bad thing. The bad thing, just to kind of get that out of the way, is of course the constant updates that you hear about Windows, but honestly, at the end of the day, it's not that bad. When it does happen, it is inconvenient. I've talked about how I was playing Hades and I had a Armory Crate update that just was really persistent and stopped me from playing the game until I updated it, but it also only took maybe 5 minutes, so while it was an inconvenience, it literally stopped me from being able to play. Within 5 minutes, I was back to normal. Of course, there are the other updates that need to happen, and sometimes the updates aren't as streamlined and simple as you would like them to be, but that at the end of the day, it's a very relatively easy learning curve, and you also don't have to do that as often as you might think. Now, the reason why it's such a great thing that this is a Windows 11 handheld device is because, well, you are getting a full Windows experience. So if you needed to use this as a backup computer when you are traveling or whatever is the case, just hook it up to a monitor or just connect a Bluetooth mouse directly to this and just use the actual 7-inch screen. If you really needed to in a pinch, then you certainly can. And that's actually something that is really helpful because while I don't particularly like Windows, I'm more of a Mac user myself, it is nice knowing that with this device, I basically have a laptop on the go, although it does require a little bit of extra setup than a laptop, but I am able to use this so that I'm able to do all of the things that I would normally do at my normal desktop and be able to do that on the go as well. Now, from a gaming perspective, which is pretty much the main reason why we're here, the reason why it's so good that this is a Windows device is that you have access and compatibility with virtually any game that is out there. Now, can you run every game that is out there at max settings? Absolutely not. But you do actually have compatibility with all of these big competitive multiplayer games if that is something that you're into, like Call of Duty, Apex Legends, Valorant, all of these different things that require a kernel level anti-cheat, and you are able to do that with the Xbox Ally. Now, will it be the best and most premium experience to do that on the Ally? Absolutely not, but it is something that you are able to do, and of course, once you hook this up to a monitor, then you are having a really good experience as well. And that's something that can't be said for the Steam Deck, because while the Steam Deck is fantastic, there are just some games, many games actually, that are just not compatible with the Steam Deck. So really it all depends on what type of games that you're interested in playing because, well, the Xbox Ally at least allows you the ability and the freedom to be able to play those games if that's something that you're interested in. Now, another big thing, and probably one of my favorite things, is the ergonomics. I absolutely love the controller grips that are on this because it really adds to a level of comfort and just stability when you're just walking around carrying a device, because with the Steam Deck, it is very good in hand, but I'm always having to kind of hold the top and the bottom of the Steam Deck if I'm moving from room to room, whereas with the Xbox Ally, I can hold it from the top and the bottom. I can hold it, down on the side by grabbing the grip. So I have a lot of different wielding options that I don't have with the Steam Deck, and it feels a lot more stable and planted in my hands. Plus, the screen is sort of angled up at me, so I'm able to play at a much more comfortable position that doesn't require any kind of neck strain or discomfort when I am playing. So it just is a really good experience through and through. Now, next is going to be these speakers. I absolutely adore the speakers. I've talked about it before, and again, I feel like it's just not talked about enough. These speakers on this are absolutely absolutely incredible. They are front-facing speakers just like we've seen before with the previous ROG Ally and other Windows handheld devices, but these have such an incredible soundstage that you can really hear enemies coming up behind you. You can hear what direction they're coming up, how far away they are. You have all of this information just sort of blasting at you, and it is a really good, unique experience because it just, again, like I've said before, it doesn't feel like the sound is coming at your face. It feels like the sound is coming a little bit past your ears from a more appropriate angle for you to be able to understand and decipher all of the sound and audio information so that you can play the game a lot more efficiently and have a more immersive experience. Now, what's really good about the full screen experience is the fact that you are getting a really nice sort of Xbox coded experience. So it looks and sort of feels a little bit like an Xbox console in the sense that just the text is the same, the icons are very similar, just the overall look and feel is very at home to what you would feel with a Series X or a Series S. So that's something that really helps to deliver a really nice premium experience, especially if you are somebody that really enjoys Xbox games, you have a lot of Xbox games in your catalog, or you play Game Pass. This is something that is really convenient for me. My main experience with Game Pass has always been with cloud gaming. I really appreciate how Xbox has gone full force into cloud gaming to allow you instant access to virtually any game that is on the Game Pass catalog. But the fact that I can now install the games to play locally on the Xbox Ally is fantastic. So I'm obviously getting a really good level of performance and low latency between my trigger responses and different things like that, inputs into the game, versus doing it with cloud gaming where there's always more increased latency. And so I'm getting a really good Xbox experience, but I'm also able to get a very good experience with all of the other launchers. Now, primarily I game via either Xbox or Steam when it comes to PC gaming. Now with Steam, I have a much bigger catalog of games that I actually own and continually play on there. My most played time with any kind of console is the Steam Deck, and my most played launcher this past year has been Steam because it is just such a great system. The Steam sales are insane. Anyways, I don't need to sell you on the value of Steam, but Xbox allows you to just launch into Steam, not directly of course, but you're able to go into Steam and use big picture mode, and for a split second, it almost feels like you're using a Steam Deck, but with a more intuitively designed controller grip experience with a really nice soundstage with the speakers, and so you're getting a really unique sort of Steam Deck 2-esque experience, more so than you would feel with like the Legion Go S, for example, and you're getting a really good experience if you are somebody that primarily uses Steam. So you're able to do all the same things that you can do with any other kind of Steam Deck or any other kind of SteamOS operated handheld, but you're able to just do that on the Xbox by just simply going into Steam and essentially just sort of using their big picture mode as if it were SteamOS. Now, of course, it's not actually SteamOS, but for the general public that just wants to go to Steam, find their game from their library, install it, and start playing, it's a really seamless experience. So anyways, while the Xbox Ally is not perfect, you can definitely check out this video right here for my thoughts on some of the things that are just really irking me about the Xbox Ally. I do feel that it's a great handheld, and I think that it is something that you might want to check out for yourself. But if you are not feeling the Xbox Ally and you want to check out some of the other gaming handhelds that are out there, definitely check out this playlist right here. I'll catch you in either one of these videos. Peace.